if I told you that Black Sabbath's Paranoid wasn't just where heavy metal began, but the unpredictable, explosive moment where chaos, luck, and raw fear collided to change music forever? This wasn't a carefully crafted masterpiece. It was hammered out in gritty English studios, fueled by exhaustion, pressure, and the wild drive to survive. Paranoia, rebellion, and darkness weren't just themes. They were the reality these guys lived, amplifying every note with urgent, do-or-die energy. Imagine a song that the band wrote in just minutes, never meant to be a hit, but destined to change everything. Or a signature guitar tone shaped by a brutal accident, frustration morphing into history. Stick around because this is Paranoid, 10 wild facts that'll blow your mind. Are you ready to find out which shocks are real and which legends you never knew were true? 1. The album that almost had a different name. Black Sabbath's Paranoid nearly didn't carry the title we all know. The original name was War Pigs. The band was ready to make a brutal political statement about the Vietnam War, but the record label freaked out. They feared the controversy would kill sales or get the album banned. So, in the nick of time, they scrambled and switched the title to Paranoid. A darker, moodier name, but less likely to ruffle feathers. Imagine how history might have changed if War Pigs had stayed as the album title. Would it have launched the heavy metal movement with an even fiercer punch, or been buried by censorship? That last-minute pivot saved the record and helped build its mythic status, proving that sometimes compromise can spark creativity, even in the darkest music. 2. The most iconic riff was a last-minute lifesaver. Paranoid, the track that became a metal anthem, was born in a hurry, almost an afterthought. The band needed one more song to finish the album, so Tony Iommi threw together the chorus and riff in mere minutes. What started as filler turned into their signature forever. Its simple, chugging riff is now one of the most recognized in music history. Ozzy's frantic vocals perfectly match the tense and anxious mood, capturing the paranoia everyone felt but couldn't name. This riff is proof. Sometimes the best ideas come in a rush. Lightning strikes when you least expect it. 3. Tony Iommi's finger injury changed music forever. Tony Iommi lost the tips of 2 fingers in a factory accident, a devastating blow for any guitarist. Refusing to give up, he made custom acrylic fingertips and tuned his guitar down to lower the string tension. This forced change made his playing style slower, heavier, and darker, the very sound that defined Paranoid and influenced generations of metal musicians. His tragedy turned into innovation, proving that limitation can fuel creativity. Iommi's story is a testament to resilience, transforming pain into the foundation of an entire genre. 4. Ozzy Osbourne almost quit before recording started. Long before Ozzy's iconic voice defined Sabbath, he actually feared the band wouldn't go anywhere and almost quit. His confidence was shaky. He doubted they could pull off this heavy sound or survive the punishing tour schedules. After a brief departure and convincing talks from his bandmates and management, Ozzy rejoined. His return was critical in shaping Paranoid's gritty urgency. That energy, fear, and uncertainty seeped into his haunted vocals, capturing raw emotion that became his trademark. Ozzy's story reminds us, sometimes the moments before a breakthrough are the darkest. 5. The cover's blurred figure holds a mystery carved in Paranoia. The cover of Paranoid is simple yet profoundly evocative. A blurred silhouette of a man seemingly walking or falling through shadow. This haunting image perfectly captures the album's themes of fear, confusion, and alienation. Though many fans have speculated about the figure's identity and meaning, the band left it intentionally ambiguous. Some see it as a symbol of mental illness or paranoia itself. Others believe it reflects the unknown, the unseen pressures weighing on the individual. This minimalist but powerful design remains one of rock's most iconic and mysterious album covers, mirroring the music's raw power and shadowy depth. It's as if the image invites listeners to step into the uneasy world Sabbath created. 6. The album's crunchy sound was born from limits, not luxuries. Paranoid was recorded in small, cheap English studios with limited equipment. Instead of top-of-the-line gear, Black Sabbath used old amplifiers, run-down drum kits, and surprisingly cheap guitars. Tony Iommi's famously heavy tone came from fixing his damaged fingers with lighter picks and down-tuning his guitar, a necessity that birthed the dark, sludgy sound. The band's limited resources forced creativity. Feedback, distortion, and raw playing captured a mood no polished studio could replicate. The gritty basement-like sound helped lay the foundation for heavy metal, showing great music doesn't need perfect conditions. 7. Iron Man was built on a sci-fi legend and a real story. The gargantuan riff behind Iron Man might be one of rock's most epic, but the inspiration came from an old sci-fi comic about a metal giant who travels time to wreak vengeance. Ozzy's lyrics tell a darker tale about loneliness and fury, a man turned to metal and cursed by his inability to connect. The song's heavy, mechanical vibes seem to channel both stories perfectly, blending fantasy and raw human emotion. Iron Man created Sabbath's signature mythology with a riff instantly recognizable and endlessly powerful. 8. The band was running on empty, exhausted, but unstoppable. Black Sabbath recorded Paranoid amid relentless touring and little sleep. The band members were physically and mentally drained, but instead of slowing down, the exhaustion added something raw to their sound. Ozzy's strained vocals, Bill Ward's pounding drums, and Tony's gritty riffs reflect the fatigue and urgency pushing through every track. The stress of their schedule made the album feel charged with do-or-die energy. Sometimes extreme pressure breeds magic, and Paranoid exploded out of those late nights and long drives. 9. Many album tracks were captured in just 1 or 2 takes. Unlike many polished albums that spend weeks or months perfecting each note, Paranoid was forged in the fire of immediacy. Several key tracks were recorded live or in just 1 or 2 takes, capturing the band's raw, unfiltered energy. This approach gave the music a startling sense of urgency and authenticity. There's no second-guessing or studio magic hiding behind the riffs. Songs like War Pigs and Iron Man pulse with a primal force because they were born out of sweat, instinct, and moment-to-moment brilliance. The spontaneity meant that every imperfection added character, making Paranoid less a manufactured product and more of a volcanic eruption of sound. It begs the question, would the album have been as powerful if it were polished to perfection? 10. Lyrics that dared to confront dark, taboo subjects. In an era when rock mostly sang about love and freedom, Paranoid plunged headfirst into fear, war, alienation, and mental torment. The lyrics broke new ground by giving voice to emotions and topics many avoided. War Pigs was a brutal condemnation of political corruption and war profiteering, while Paranoid gave a chilling glimpse into psychological anxiety and depression, issues largely ignored by rock music at the time. This raw honesty created a haunting atmosphere that resonated deeply then and still echoes today. It was an unflinching look at the darkness lurking beneath the surface of society and the individual, making Paranoid not just music, but a confronting message no fan could ignore.